welcome to the most uneventful, unexciting channel on the internet. And boy, do I have a treat for you today. I also look dead because I get up at 3:30 a.m. for work, and even on my days off, my body kind of wants to kill me, so I just wake up at 4 naturally now. But it's fine, it's fine, it's fine. Because I've got a reaction video for you guys. I'm going to be reacting to Rene Campbell. Now, Rene Campbell is not exactly a household name in the bodybuilding world. However, I think it should be. As far as female bodybuilders go, I find Rene absolutely fascinating. And the fact that we're on the same island just makes me so happy because Rene Campbell is a fucking icon. You will see what I mean. I'm going to be reacting to this like short 10-minute documentary type thing. You know, you get them on YouTube. It's by Munchies. It's basically like a day in the life of Rene Campbell, the revered female bodybuilder. It's what she eats, how she trains, and as a personal trainer in training, I thought it would be quite interesting to react to. So yeah, let's go.
For me at the moment, my body fat percent is just under 10%, and I want to get that down to about 3% ready for show day. And I'm really pleased. Put on some good muscle, and the definition is coming through already, and I haven't started dieting yet.
I mean, do I really need to say anything? Like, the striations in her deltoid just popped out the screen and spoke to me. This woman is insane condition, right? And she wants to get down to 3%. Do you know how hard that is to do for a woman? On a good cut, I can barely scrape like maybe 14, 15, but that's if I really push myself, right? Without serious health consequences for myself. And this bitch wants to be at 3%, you know?
The food that I eat and the way I prep it is purely functional. You need to know exactly how many calories you're hitting in a day. You need to know exactly how many calories are in each meal that you're eating. I see my meal times as fuel times.
It's traps though. Traps for days.
My name's Rene and I'm a professional female bodybuilder.
Yeah, no shit. Look at you.
When I'm on stage, the judges will be looking to see that I have a total package. So they want to see what your presentation is like. They want to see what your condition is like, what your fat percentage is, how thin is your skin,
I mean, do I even have to say it? Like, let's be real with ourselves. She is taking a shit ton of gear. I don't mean like playing about with, you know, 3 to 5 milligrams every so often, cycle on, cycle off, 4 weeks, 6 weeks. This bitch is injecting something serious, like very serious. Because, I mean, you don't have to be a scientist to see that she's got quite serious masculinization of the face, the jaw. Like, I mean, I've got quite a bit of a jaw and I've got this going on, right? But that's just because I'm a butch lesbian. But she is, there's quite a lot of masculinization. You can hear it in her voice. And the hands also speak for themselves. It's not, I'm not judging, like, it's not a bad thing, you know. If she wants to do that, I think it's cool. I think the way she looks is friggin' insane, right? And if I could look like that without all the masculinization effects and all the drugs I would have to pump into my body, I totally would. But she is taking a lot of stuff.
vascularity coming through, and is your body in proportion? So they're looking for symmetry. I went from somebody who was 8 stone, so that's 56 kilos, to someone who's now 89 kilos, so just on 14 stone. In a day, I would consume about 4,500 calories, but that will slowly go up in the year according to what gains I want to get. So it could.
Do you know what? I don't know if you've seen this go around the internet, but this girl called Jen Peach, this vegan bodybuilder, claims to be on like 4,000 calories a day, and she is tiny. I mean, I think she's like 60 kilos or like 50 kilos, something ridiculous. She's an anorexia, ex-anorexic, and she's on a vegan diet. She's a bodybuilder now, claims to eat 4,000 calories, right? For a tiny scrap of a girl. Look at this machine. Now I believe, when she says she's eating 4,500 calories per day, 100% I believe her. But for a woman to be eating that much and staying mega lean, because for a female she is very lean, it's hard work. And a lot of syringes.
Possibly go up to about 5,000 calories a day. This is when I won the
most delicious protein shake you could make. Water, oats, banana, protein powder. Also, the size of that thing, I was like, a blender fits about a litre of fluid? He was right, like a litre of watery oats with protein powder. Standard Rene. Now, do you know what you'll find? As this video goes on, because I watched some of her previous stuff as well, Rene really likes her blenders. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say.
Amateur world title. Because of this trophy, I then was awarded my pro status, which is a very revealing. These are my friends, Sam and Will, my training partners. When we're training together, we're not friends, we're friends after training. When we're training, it's very serious and it's a sort of love-hate relationship.
Amen to that. Do you know what? I never understood those people who were like obsessed with gym buddies or like their gym training partner, whatever. If you need someone to keep you motivated and to drag you into the gym, you know, you can't be relying on other people for that kind of thing. You've got to be doing it for yourself. You've got to be accountable to yourself. I can't think of anything more annoying than training with another person. I mean, if you're like relatively similar in terms of composition and goals, yeah, but what if she's like, or she or he is like twice or half my size and she squats 180 and I squat 100? It's just constant re-racking. What could be more inconvenient? Hate training with people. She's right.
I hear Rene has a nickname.
Yes, Captain Campbell.
Why does everyone call her that?
You just do as she says, basically.
When I do what I call my big cook,
she came up to me in the street and told me to do
food that I prep up that will give me enough food for 2 weeks. I'll have 5 cabbages. Cabbage is a really good fibrous carb that you need to keep your system moving and everything flowing smoothly. Could I please have 10 kilos?
You know someone's a bodybuilder when they pick up a cabbage and they call it a fibrous carb. The fact that she considers cabbage a carb is, I mean, just says it all, doesn't it? Although I do feel like a lot of people forget that vegetables aren't like a free pass 0-calorie food you can eat infinite amounts of. They do have calories and they do have carbs. Although cabbage is one of them things that kind of like the carbs in cucumber, you know? 100 grams of it will have like a couple calories. But do you know what? Props to Rene.
Kilos of chicken?
Chicken breast.
Chicken breast, yes.
You want 10 kilos?
10 kilos, yeah.
Oh, right.
Nice.
If you do it this way, the food's really clean, it's nutritious, it's exactly what you need in terms for your muscle building, muscle repair, and it's quick and easy. I would go through 5 kilos of rice when I do this big cook. Rice is a very good carbohydrate to have when you're bodybuilding. It's a slow release carb and it's what we call a clean food. In a week I have 150 eggs. I've got my meals out the freezer and I'm prepping them for the day. Then I'll add fresh eggs to.
Okay, right. What I'm seeing here, nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with eating this way. But the thing is, with the 4,500 calorie leeway, all you're eating is cabbage, chicken, broccoli, rice, oats, and water, and, bananas here and there with protein powder. You have so much leeway. Like, I'm sure many people would love to be able to eat 4,500 calories and, not gain weight or not get fat. And you have all of this room and leeway to fuck about with your macros and try out different things and make, it doesn't have to be unhealthy, like make healthy things. You don't have to do like a dirty bulk. You can still eat healthy. But all you do is just resort to rice and chicken. Like that's also another thing with bodybuilders, right? Everyone thinks that this is what like the perfect bodybuilder looks like. Yeah, in terms of dedication and discipline. But the thing is, if you eat the same shit, the same plain shit like she's doing, week after week, month after month, then you actually risk exposing yourself to a lot of deficiencies in terms of like vitamin and mineral deficiencies. Because yeah, this stuff is healthy, but it's the same stuff. We need variety in our diet. Why not replace that cabbage with broccoli, some red peppers, you know, colours of the rainbow, all of that shit? Because that will cover you in terms of vitamins and minerals. And that will give you, I don't know, I just feel like you'll feel a lot more fulfilled with your diet and what you're eating. I don't know, this whole like obsession with nutrient cleanliness kind of smells a lot like orthorexia to me. I don't want to diagnose anyone, and I understand that while you're prepping, you do kind of have to resort to the plainest of the plain foods. You don't have to, but like, it helps. But again, plain doesn't mean the same. Guess what, right? You can have plain quinoa instead of plain rice. You can have plain fish instead of plain chicken. Mind blown.
Got my meals out the freezer and I'm prepping them for the day. Then I'll add fresh eggs to each meal. I use the egg whites because they're a really, really good source of protein, really low in fat. Of course, I don't use the egg yolk because that's where all the cholesterol is and the fat.
How long have you been eating like this?
Egg yolk, what? Of course. Of course. If you don't know this, who are you? What are you doing? That's the thing. People seem to be so scared of the cholesterol or whatever in egg yolk. But there's no link between high cholesterol and eating eggs. There's probably a link between eating a load of shitty trans fats in like burgers and fries and deep fried crap and high cholesterol. Yeah, there's probably a link between those two. But eggs are fine, man. I don't know why people have been hating on eggs for so long. I think it's part of the whole sugar conspiracy. Back in the 90s, the sugar companies paid scientists to make it look like fat is bad for your health, so they could sell their sugary shit, when actually sugar's worse for you than fat. Facts.
I've been eating like this now for 6 years. This is the beginning of my 7th year. It does get boring, but what you do is you see it more as fuel for your body, because I eat every 3 hours. It really does need to be quite plain. You need to get the nutrients that you want for your body, for your muscle growth, get it into the system as quickly and efficiently as possible. To prep enough meals for 2 weeks will pretty much take 4 to 5 hours. But if you think about it in the grand scheme of things, if you had to cook every day a protein meal just before bed.
She's gonna boil it. Yeah, she's boiling it.
There aren't very many professional female bodybuilders in the UK. I think there's a naturally occurring estrogen. So you've got to work even harder than most guys.
I mean, oh, that just looks grim. I mean, I've been known to eat like overly plain foods. I don't really like my food with a lot of sauce especially when I'm like cutting. But you can do better than that, Rene.
A diet and training comes first before anything else.
Spent time with family over festive holidays for the very reason that I'm dieting for a show. Not being in a relationship, that's been a big sacrifice because I need to be, in a way, quite greedy with my time, quite selfish, and I need to dedicate any time that I do have to the sport. So in each one of these bags, I've got 100.
I mean, I gotta say, like, she's not wrong. Bodybuilding is a very selfish sport. Any sport or passion taken to the extreme, like when you're at the top of your game, is selfish and ultimately takes up a lot of time. But even doing it, like, obviously I'm far from a professional, but I'm quite serious about it. And it does impact your relationships and it does impact your everyday life, because you find that you're typically making decisions based on that sport or that hobby. So, you know, my girlfriend will want to sit down on the couch in the evening, have a pint of ice cream watching TV, whatever people do. And I know that I can't have that pint of ice cream. I mean, I could if I incorporated it into my macros, etc. But when you're cutting, especially, you want to think about bang for your buck in terms of calories. You want to be maybe not as excessive as Rene, but you want to be efficient with how you consume food. You want to make sure it's got protein, it's got all the nutrients in it, carbs, etc. And for me, it's just a waste of calories. I mean, sure, it tastes nice, right? But I don't think anything tastes as nice as to warrant it being like 2,000 calories. Again, if you're not into bodybuilding and you're just living your life, obviously it's better to have a healthy diet, healthy balanced diet, but you have more room to allow food just for genuine pleasure than, say, a bodybuilder. Because again, that's just life. It's just the nature of the sport. Yeah, sure, I love food, but I also love abs.
130 grams of rice and 130 grams of chicken, and the cabbage will be 50 grams. That will be frozen. In the morning when I prep my food, I will empty the bags into a blender, add water, and blend it to a consistency that you can drink it. It tastes like
Okay.
chicken soup gone a bit wrong.
Yeah.
But you know, I'm so used to the taste. It is very bland and it can smell a little bit, but it's really good for you. You gotta ask yourself why you're doing it. So I imagine myself on stage.
You heard her. It's really good for you guys. It's really good for you. I just want to know, like, if I ever meet this woman, I want an autograph, a handshake, and quite a few questions answered. It's really, okay, right. 1, waste of plastic, Rene, waste of plastic. I'm sure if you're that committed to your sport, you can afford to buy a massive fuck-off freezer, invest in some Tupperware, and repeat the process, but just with reusable Tupperware. Just a thought. Just a thought. 2, so cabbage, as we've learned today, guys, is a fibrous carb. Fibrous is the key word here. And it helps your digestion, it helps everything pass. Again, I quote. So why would you take that fibrous carb and destroy the fiber in a blender? Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, it kind of defeats the whole purpose. Surely, if you're that obsessed with efficiency, because I mean, efficiency on here is like 10 out of 10, but if you're that obsessed with efficiency, get some protein powder, get some maltodextrin. Pretty much same. Like, your muscle doesn't care where your protein and your carbs are coming from, especially if you're friggin' demolishing them in a blender and drinking them. Okay, like, there's so many things you could say about this. One of them is, Rene, have you ever heard of salt, thyme, basil, pepper? The whole nutrients, like, obsession with clean eating and nutrients, I don't really think this is a particularly healthy diet, nor do I think it's a particularly healthy approach to dieting, because with 4,500 calories, like, she said she eats 6 times a day, and for maximum efficiency, she feels the need to do that to her food. Why not eat 3 times a day, but maybe have, like, some more calorie-dense foods? Do you know what I mean? Like, have a slightly fattier cut of meat. Because all of this, so 130 chicken, 130 rice, so it's like a 1-to-1 protein to carb ratio, essentially. Obviously, it's a little bit off. But, I don't get it. Like, I just don't get it.
Age. Imagine the end result. What is it that I want? I want to build this physique that I can be proud of. I do get a lot of male attention. I have a huge fan base. I get a lot of mail all the time from male admirers, and in the street as well. You get guys in the street whistling at you or saying, wow, you know, you look absolutely great, you got a great set of legs, or, you know, really great ass. So, you know, you do get comments like that, very random. I absolutely love coming to the supplement store. It's like a candy shop to me.
Rene is
There's
out
just
on the
so
prowl.
much to choose from. You just want to try everything. What your goals are will determine what products you take. For me personally, when I'm off season, a huge impact on your physique. These are my morning tablets. These are my post-workout tablets. And these would be my bedtime tablets. That is a lot of tablets every day, but all of these play a specific role, and they're taken at very specific times. You put your body through a lot of stress when you train at the level that I'm training at. So these are just going to ensure that you're keeping yourself as healthy as you possibly can. Talking about the use of steroids in the sport of bodybuilding can be quite a tricky subject.
Okay, right. Health. Also, I saw a cheeky liver support, so talk to us, Rene. What do you need to support your liver for exactly? You know what I'm referring to? Referring to the fact that a lot of steroids and PEDs are actually quite liver toxic and put a lot of stress on your liver. So I'm not, you know, accusing anyone or anything, but I'm just saying, Rene, what's up? Talk to us, girl. No, but she says, oh, it puts a lot of stress on your body, so you want to like have all your bases covered in terms of health. What health could you be talking about? What, like, in all seriousness, any sport taken to the extreme is unhealthy, whether you're like a marathon runner or like a top of the level cyclist. It's not healthy when taken to the extreme, right? Because it does put your body through excessive amounts of stress. However, bodybuilding is notorious for being one of the most unhealthy sports, like aesthetic sports. And so the whole point is not even so much performance, it's aesthetics. And, you know, bodybuilders are notorious for drug use. And at the end of the day, think of Jay Cutler in his prime, right? That's like what, 300 pounds of meat? And yeah, of course, being that muscular is better than being that morbidly obese. But at the same time, the sheer mass these people are carrying, people like Eddie Hall, Brian Shaw, the sheer amount of mass on their body, their heart has to work so hard in order to sustain it all and, you know, just everyday activities, right? As this is going to be a shocker to a lot of people in the Western civilization, but human beings aren't actually supposed to be over 300 pounds. Just saying, you know. So it's not healthy. What she's doing to her body is not healthy. It's so far from health. I don't believe her diet to be. It's healthy, but it's not varied. It's not as healthy as. Not should be, but if she is that concerned about health, just have some like fresh fruit and fresh veg, you know what I mean? Like, it's a little bit counterproductive. Like, where do her priorities lie? I mean, I really have a strong feeling that Rene cannot give a toss about her health. With her level of body fat and muscle, I wouldn't be surprised if she's suffering from amenorrhea. I wouldn't be surprised if her hormonal health is completely out of whack. Her reproductive health, all of that, it ain't healthy. I'm just saying, you know. And all the pills, like, I get like your basic amino acids and like getting your vitamin D, C, whatever. But fucking hell, it's like a handful of God knows what.
Something that you'll find most athletes won't discuss too much in much detail. I think everyone knows that this sort of thing does go on in the sport, but not just the sport of bodybuilding, it's every sport. You hear of Tour de France cyclists, you hear of sprint runners, track runners, this all does go on.
Are you allowed to do steroids to like a certain extent?
The federations would like to say that we don't. For as long as possible. I think with this sport, what's great is that I've seen some elderly people in their 60s, even in their 70s, still training, still doing bodybuilding. I'll be walking along.
Oh, that was quite the roller coaster. I like at the end the steroid use. Federations would like to say that we don't. What about you, Rene? What would you like to say about it? I know, I would just be interested, like, just for general information, I would be interested to know what she personally is taking. Yeah. I think she's fascinating. I really think she's fascinating. The psychological, the mentality behind it, you know, having 4,500, I reckon she probably eat more. I reckon she could probably eat more and get away with it without gaining fat. But the amount of calories she's eaten and how she's distributing them, I mean, I guess it might be like over exaggerated for the sake of the documentary, but still. Again, no hate, props to her, nothing but respect for the dedication. But like, if you think this is what health and bodybuilding and the way to get your perfect body is, don't do that. Don't put water and chicken in a blender and drink it every morning. Yeah, not much else there is to say. Hope you enjoyed and see you in the next one.